It's time for Tales from the Swing with Gene and Scott Holden.
The hosts of this program are not medical professionals, attorneys, accountants, or other licensed professionals and cannot give medical, legal, or tax advice. Any information or advice given by the hosts is not to be used in place of any medical, legal, tax, or financial advice or diagnosis from a qualified and licensed professional in those fields. Information provided by the hosts is intended for entertainment purposes and do not in any way constitute medical, legal, tax, or financial advice. Thank you. Enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tales from the Swing, podcast where we talk about open relationships and bisexuality and all things about different relationships, and we try to add a little funny anecdotes and all that sort of stuff. I'm Gene Holden, and with me is...
I'm Scott Holden, and together we are Wild Stallions. Yeah, let me
Wild
readjust my camera
Stallions.
here. Sorry. Yes, so...
Welcome back.
Yay, 2-shot, we're done.
It's
now I can not worry about the cameras anymore.
It's been a little bit of time.
It's been a few weeks.
Yeah.
It hasn't been that long. It was only a couple weeks ago
seems...
since Amber Rose was on.
Yeah.
And it was a big to-do for the Gene.
Well, and I have to tell you guys, if you are not on Instagram, you must, because some of her videos are so sexy and great. So, and she, well, not some of them, all of them. So just to, if you want to expand your Instagram library, head on over to Amber Rose.
Yes.
And Slut Walk too, because they have a Slut Walk Instagram too, and you can check that out.
Indubitably.
That was so much fun, that interview.
Yes, it was a good time. I mean, later in the week, I bragged that I said, "Ooh, I flirted with Amber Rose this week."
Well, she flirted with you too.
Yeah, I was like, "Wow!" It dawned on me like later that day or that evening. I was like, "Oh my god!" So this week we don't have any guests, by the way. This week it's a Tales from the Date episode.
Yes,
and I think it's kind of a special one, only because like. This was so spontaneous, even deciding to do the show on the date, but it's definitely worth covering and just talking about it and our experience, and hopefully you can gain some insight or whatever. Maybe you'll get confidence to or maybe form your own tales from the swing. From our
or maybe
Tales
you'll
from the
just
Date.
get like really hot and go have sex.
And that too. So, where should we start? I should probably start that it was. I feel like even though we've been doing a lot of activities in the community, the lifestyle, I feel like of late been kind of
dry.
Yeah, in a slump or something. Like a lot of work is being expended with low yield, low return on investment.
Right.
Now, I think we mentioned on the last show that we're like a big party sort of event, a hotel party event.
Yeah.
Hosted by, a community group that does that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And while we were there, the first night, because it was a 2-night deal, we had been chatting with a couple. We never really announced SLS, did we? SLS Radio? Oh, yeah.
Go to SLS Radio on Twitter. And
that's right,
we're
folks.
On there.
We are now, we're proud to announce that this show is now featured on SLS, that's Swing Lifestyle.
Yes, thank you.
Radio.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, you go to Tales from the Swing Podbean.com, and there's links to get to Swing Lifestyle Radio.com, which is affiliated with Swing Lifestyle, which is a very prominent swing community, dating, and personal site.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a lot of stuff going on. They have, like a lot of,
always like dances,
yeah,
they have parties.
They really are. I mean, they really are one of the better
websites
out there for this kind for lifestyle for sure. They cater more to swing, and how we talked about how we kind of see a lot of the, some of that terminology is
it's a term
weird and or not quite up to date,
right.
But for the most part, their site is great because it's very trusted and trusting.
It's just like an outdated term. That's all. It's just...
We're new age, man. We're poly. We're lifestyle. But anyway, as I was saying,
we went to a party, hotel party,
and the first night we had been talking to a couple from that site, and they had a room even, and we got to the room and we even made it to the bed, the four of us, but we were still clothed. And then, Trump talk came up, and things went downhill very quickly, and we ended up walking out because why reward them? Is really the general philosophy.
Yes.
Remember, there is audio on this show.
Yeah.
You want to talk? So that was the first night, and then the second night, we had a great time, watching and interacting and oogling, but we never really connected with anybody until the end of the night. We met this gorgeous couple.
Oh my God, yes!
And we kind of I was determined. I said we have to follow them and at least say something before we call it a night. And so we did, and we've been chatting with them, but not, we have not met up with them since. And I believe we mentioned them to with Amber Rose last week too.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, much to her surprise. Oh, these two white Goyim people.
Well, I think she mentioned something
that
about
not as many people of color into the swing scene, but we've seen
or bisexuality. I think it was.
Yeah,
that might have been
on the male side for sure.
Yeah, they're not as open about it.
Yeah. Well, very. Stereotypically homophobic? Would that be a good term? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm interested in that because I'd like to hear more about that.
Yeah, we got to get more perspective on that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Amber Rose wouldn't be the only the opinion that we should. It should be the final word on the subject. But anyway, so we met this lovely couple. We've been chatting with them since. They're gorgeous. They're hot. But we didn't really... we haven't. I think we had an opportunity last week and they bailed.
Yeah.
Or we had some situation. It's debatable if it was it wasn't a true flake out, but it was a last minute cancellation.
Right.
And
those happen.
Yeah. So but once those happen, generally it's the old once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah.
A lot of the enthusiasm is lost after a first bail, and so it takes a little while to get the enthusiasm back up again.
Well, because you kind of are they, do they?
Yeah, are they
full of it or whatever?
And it depends. Everything's case by case. So that was last week, and it just felt like that was a whole weekend. We had spent money on that fucking thing. We didn't even get laid. So, kind of feeling. In a slump or whatever you want to call it. Things weren't going quite so well. So then it was Saturday night.
This past Saturday.
Yeah, it was this past. So I've sort of not been even looking. I was in that space where it just felt like everything was not worth it right now. You feel like there's an ebb and flow to all of this.
Right.
And
it just seemed
there are tides. And it just feels like this is a tide going out. Or whatever. It felt like the tide had withdrawn, and right now the tide is out, and we're just, we got to wait for that tide to come back in, and maybe something will happen.
Right.
So so feeling that
see,
vibe,
now, yeah.
I have not been as active,
Right.
with our various our personal accounts and whatever. I've not been doing that thing. And so that's
and
why.
I have to say something. Scott is the
in every couple, there's a communicator.
Yeah, he's a communicator. The
It's funny because,
investigator.
like in the business side, you do a lot of the stuff that I do on the on the swing side.
I mean, and I do
or whatever the
and
lifestyle side.
At like my job, I do stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like the investigator. I find stuff out. I figure it out.
I find
But-
it is generally the males, and I think the reason why is there's that protection
Yeah,
sort of
I get it.
vibe. That male role of
I get it, but
protect
it's
the
a lot
pussy.
of work, and it's a commitment, and it's like,
Well,
I mean, if
It's also, man, I will tell you, the reason why I say this is because if you picked it up tomorrow, I don't say this because, like, I don't want to give it up, but if you picked it up tomorrow, there is such a learning curve.
really,
Yeah, I saw, like, the few times that you ventured out and, like, wrote some emails and stuff.
they were bad.
It's just like, oh, yeah, we've already talked to these people back in blah, 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 and, like we sort of, I've already sort of screened them out.
Yeah,
And then you're like, hey, good to see you. Come
I
on.
didn't- I like-
Exactly. That's what I mean. So that's why it is better to have a primary. Because when two people are doing it, unless they're communicating constantly, you have no idea how many couples,
There's
singles,
creeps.
whatever, get screened out long before you hear anything about them.
right.
Like by the time you hear something about them, I'm usually pretty sure they're real people. Generally, they look like their picture most
Yeah.
likely. And usually we're always safe. We meet them in person in a public place the first time just to make sure. One of the highest compliments I think we ever got was, "Wow, you guys really look like your pictures."
Oh my God, really? I take a picture and then I post it. Whoa, it's me.
No, but I get
There are
that. I get
people
it.
that look
Just
that's
like-
their picture from like 30 years ago.
Age.
No, that's not
Age.
you.
Everybody lies about their age. You see a 60-year-old person, 45.
I know, but
Usually you can pretty much guess it's a 10-year slide on the age.
yeah, which I get. And there's some
Yeah.
people that can pull it off. There's some people that not so much.
Confession, we did this time. But it wasn't because it's our account.
You did.
Yeah, we did. I told don't act like you didn't know.
I don't mind, but it was just
Don't act like you don't know, because there's going to be a point in the story where it's going to become important. Or it's going to be a plot point.
it was just funny when it happened. That's all.
And this is true, man. This is another thing that I don't know if everyone talks about. I don't know how many other swing shows people listen to, but ageism is a thing. The big 4-0 in the lifestyle is like a death sentence.
really.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like over 40 people in lifestyle.
Sure. But they're only banging people under 40.
Over 40.
Over 40 people are relegated to older people unless you either can pull off looking younger. See, that's how, like, if you meet, this was even talked about during our date, so I almost don't want to talk about it
But
now.
I don't even think it's pulling off being younger, just being an attractive, like, youthful person.
Exactly. When you meet somebody
Yeah.
in person, like, you usually get a vibe for what their age is.
Like, yeah,
Hey, look, they're an attractive adult.
Right.
You know
And
what
they know, like, I mean, and I know it sounds like, this is what I like, but like,
It's all
people that are,
relative.
like, into like pop culture that know what's going on in the world, like people that are up to date with like stuff now.
Which is why you and I generally gravitate towards younger people, because it's
Yeah.
not even
And
about, we want to, we're perverts and want to bang young people, but like we so often don't identify with people our own age. We
Yeah.
just don't. The only thing they want, they're all about, let's face it, travel and wine. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's so fucking boring. The travel part I get, but like, even that can become boring because you start to find out that their travel is all about wine.
Right. Right. Well, and you know what? There are some people our age that are cool too. But
But it's few and far between. Let's face it.
yeah.
It's more often than not, like, we don't really identify with people our own age. We
Right.
tend to identify people, in all honesty, 20 years younger than us, but more often than not, at least 10. I mean, we like millennials. They're our audience. They're our crowd. I think half of Generation X is really pre-millennial. It's just that it's the mindset without the actual, comic book nerd, all that shit. Anyway, I'm going way off the beaten trail. But there will be, this all comes together in a minute. So, again, I was slumping, hadn't really been, into the, doing all the work. Again, I felt like the vibe was the tide was out. Because it just felt like after the last week, all this work, not a lot of yield. Maybe I'll wait a couple weeks and then, maybe the tide will have come back in. And you just see that. It just happens.
Right.
But then, people knock Craigslist all the time. Because it's a swap. It's an internet swap shop, meet, whatever. It's whatever. But the personal section, oh boy, I get hours of entertainment out of the personal section.
And you listen to me, people.
Italian
People, listen. You need to be careful on Craigslist. Don't
of
just
course,
say,
yes.
"Oh, because this happened."
I'm
to
glad
Gene
you
and
said that because we should say
because
we want to give out
to Gene and Scott. Woo,
yeah.
Craigslist.
Craigslist.
You don't
do
anything by yourself. You don't meet anybody by yourself. You don't go.
Yeah, you're dealing with the dregs of humanity.
But you don't go to a hotel, a parking
potentially
lot to meet someone alone. Do not.
Generally, what you'll find on Craigslist is there's probably like 30 guys who are married perverts who desperately want to fuck somebody who isn't their wife.
They want to fuck someone else's wife.
But can't pull the trigger on any of it because when you drill down into it, they're like unattractive and, usually a little overweight.
They have all beauties in the
probably,
eye of the
well, there are some empirical beauty standards. Yes, I agree. Some people have fetishes for things. Like if you're really into, I don't know, fat as a fetish, like I love fat guys. You're a chubby chaser. That's sort of a fetish. That's not in the norm, which would be a fetish.
Right, and we're not at all shaming that.
No, we're not. I'm just I'm just saying that,
some people like heavy set, some people don't.
And I don't remember why I was even making that point.
Because we were talking about Craigslist. And
yes. And there's a lot of sickos out. There's a lot of whack job psychos, weirdos.
And listen, people.
You may be a psycho, weirdo, and crank job listening to this show.
There could be someone that could,
so
get hurt. So just don't do it.
Be very, very careful when you're messing around with Craigslist personal ads.
And if it's something like going to meet somebody, never do it alone because it's just not safe. Just be safe.
Yes.
And if you feel something inside...
Tips to look for. I can give you some quick tips.
Oh, good. Okay.
Tips to look for on Craigslist. Okay. On Craigslist, anything that's short... is generally not real. And by short, I mean anything under a paragraph.
Oh, okay.
A post that's under a paragraph is probably not real.
We're not talking about
probably been generated by a Russian information collector. Seriously, I'm not fucking kidding. That's not even funny.
It's fake news.
No, it's fake information grabbing.
Really?
Yeah. They're trying to grab fucking whatever they can for their phishing. Yeah. As much as they can. Whatever they can get from you, they're going to try and fish out of you. Because think of all the information they have.
Like your name and where you live.
That you're into guys, you're into girls, you're into whatever it is that you responded to is a fetish or a thing or whatever. It's a turn on for you.
Okay, so it's like
a
robot's in there.
Or whatever. But what they now have is a certain amount of information from you. Whether they could have your IP, depending on what your settings are on your computer. All that. So they have all this information on you. Not you in person, but they know that a person at this IP address.
Right.
So there is data. There is a reason to collect. They can get information that they can sell to someone else, a porn company. Not even necessarily
sell it to
about
what?
you specifically.
A porn company?
Yeah, or whatever, about market research.
Ah.
Yes. That's
that's
as
one.
Crazy as that sounds, that's market research data. That they can extract.
Okay.
And they could probably extract a lot of other shit, too. I mean, if you're nefarious, and they say there's a lot of Russian fucking information gatherers on Craigslist.
Okay. So that's one reason.
Another thing, if you see strings of words that make no sense together after a post, like, like keyword phrases that have all been jammed into an ad
Yeah.
purposefully, like in a block.
Yeah. What's that?
That's the same thing. It's someone
Like
who
spam
wants you to
or
come there and possibly respond to that ad. And in emailing, that's when you're starting to give information,
Okay.
electronic and otherwise.
Okay.
Anyway. So anyway.
We haven't
so
gotten to the dick pics
So
yet.
So just be, the point being, be careful. You can kind of tell. They're real people usually write longer.
Well, yeah, because they want to tell you something.
Yeah, they'll also mention probably other sites that they're members of.
Yeah.
They may provide that information. Be careful with Kick. Kick is also an extraction.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they give you your Kick and just say "kick me directly,"
Yeah.
just be leery.
Kick
Have
is
your
like a chat site
Yeah,
app.
if you're in the community, you probably already know
It's
that.
a chat app.
Yeah, it's essentially a way to chat with people without necessarily having to surrender your phone number. Because once people have your phone number,
Yeah.
they can gain a lot of other information from you.
And it's more anonymous, and it's good.
See all of this that you have to think about
Yeah.
protecting your information. This is when you. Thank God I have a data security background.
Yeah, I'm glad for that.
Anyway,
Security part, because
I mean, at this point, though, this is the truth. Here's the real truth. At this point, we're so open.
I know.
No one can really hurt us.
I was just thinking that.
What are they going to do? We're going to blackmail you by telling. We already tell everybody.
We're going to tell the
shit.
internet everything.
Exactly.
Oh,
Well,
they already have that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And if you don't
that's
wanna
our
listen-
show.
Right.
So yeah.
But
Nowadays,
we're not ashamed of it.
but
so
there are still things we
who we are.
we need to, like, we don't want people showing up at the house and shit like that.
Yeah, well, there's certain things that you don't like. We don't like. Talk
Advertise.
about, like
Like, we don't tell you what
Personal
what our
things.
IDs are on sites and shit
no,
like
no,
that.
No.
We're tempted to, because we wonder if our dates would go up. And I wonder if SLS has told, because here's one thing I've noticed. On SLS, you can see who's looked at your account.
Right.
We're getting a lot of long-distance looks.
Because people have heard the show, probably.
Yeah, but how have they figured out who we are? We've never said our name on here. We've never said our ID, because I've never been sure if we can.
Can you look us up by our names?
I don't think you can.
You might.
No, I don't. You can't use our proper names to look us up. No, not on that site.
Okay.
No, you'd have to have our handle.
Wow.
But you could, there's enough information you could narrow it down.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know how you would, though.
Bisexual couples where both members are bi in New Jersey.
Oh, my God. There's not that many of them? It's fucking New
in,
Jersey. That's not a small state.
It ain't big. Trust me. But again, it goes back to the fact that both of us are honest.
See,
Most
I
of the
just
time,
don't. I'm just
men
like,
lie.
why aren't more people like this?
Most of the time, men lie.
Yeah. It's
But-
a manly thing. I don't know. I just don't.
It is a guy thing. And here's the other thing. Here's the part of the other psychological reason for why other men, even though, okay, think about it. As even points out on one of our accounts, we played a couple's limits, so therefore nobody would ever have to worry about me forcing themselves on them or anything like that, or for that matter, you or either of us. It's
God, I would never force
exactly.
myself.
I wouldn't force myself on a guy or a girl.
No.
I am so
You're passive.
with women in particular, because
know.
I know they're very sensitive. I
Right.
don't want to cross a woman's
Right.
boundaries.
Well, and that kind of came up this weekend, too.
Yeah, that was weird too.
No, I'm talking about with the guy.
Oh, he crossed yours?
No, we're not going to talk about it yet because I don't want to ruin
okay.
or be
All
a
right.
part of the story.
All right,
But you were vocal and said it's okay.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yes. See.
He was very, very
He was,
polite.
I was noticed he was being very reserved with you.
my
Yeah.
God.
Okay. And as I am too, usually I'm not. It takes a lot, A woman has to fucking hold up the goddamn flashlight things and wave me in.
Well, yeah, because you don't want to be.
But I don't
want to
be a jerk. Yeah, I don't want to be a jerk.
I know.
So I'm I'm usually even more not standoff, but more reserved.
More sensitive
yeah.
Because you don't know.
I'm the opposite of most guys. I'm not aggro at all.
That's why, like, getting to
until you tell me that, until it's all good. Right. And then, like, that's why second dates are always better.
But that's what I mean. When you see the person, you already know, and it's good. So that's why having relationships with people is awesome.
Exactly.
Because you already know
it's
cool, and then you can just do
You've
whatever.
got a leg up already. Yeah, you don't have to go through that awkward. But at the same time, there's something extra sexy about the first time just because everything's so
because
new.
It's the first time.
So anyway, I wandered out onto Craigslist.
Speaking of the first time.
I know. This is one of those days we're not going to be able to get through the fucking story.
It's amazing, though.
Oh, yeah,
I go, because I can't.
Well, I grabbed a screenshot, actually, of their ad.
I don't know if you should do that.
Oh, I'm not going to read all of it, but I do want to grab some specifics.
Okay.
That I thought were interesting. And what jumped out to me.
I hope they listen to this.
No, I have a feeling they will. I mean, we're pretty much open about everything we do and everything. All right, so they posted it on Craigslist. I won't pull it up because you're right. It might be a little too...
I mean, you can pull things out of it.
Yeah. Well, John and Rose is how it was signed.
Yeah, like Rose from Titanic.
Yeah, isn't that? And from Amber Rose from our last show.
Yeah, but Rose just sticks out at me as Kate Winslet in Titanic.
So there was an ad posted, and as I'm reading through it, I just got the vibe that we had certain things in common, and they also said they were from out of town, and they were visiting family. They weren't going to be around long, but they just wanted to hang out, have a good time, and
See, I didn't know that part because I asked them, "Where are you from?" And they're like, "Oh, we're in." Like what? Like so I didn't. Scott didn't explain all of that stuff.
Yeah, like usually we've done all that, but this was so like spontaneous, and it just came together like click, click, click.
Yeah, like I was out. I walk in the door. Scott's like, "We have a date in an hour." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, it was weird.
What? Wait,
so you went out, and so I just saw this ad, and I just said, what the fuck? I hadn't really responded to any.
Right.
And usually, like on Craigslist,
I know. And how long was the ad out?
Again,
you answered.
2 hours, if even that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Craigslist is weird because when you post ads, like they don't always show when they're supposed to. They usually show later, like 2 hours later. So
like when you
if it shows 2 hours, it might have just shown up on that site. So anyway, and I have a certain way. I have certain ways I check Craigslist. I know how to search via locality and stuff. So I knew the ad was close, like they were in the county.
Oh, yeah.
I knew that, I've never seen... You can tell writing style. I know this sounds crazy, but when you do this for a while, you can just... Looking through Craigslist shit, you could just tell, like, is this a person who posts regularly, who I've already screened out, or, is this a whack job? Is this something new? Is it, people cut and paste other people's shit. I've seen parts of my posts in other people's posts.
Oh my god! Well,
I don't blame them because you know what? Who the fuck wants to reinvent the wheel?
No, but when you copy someone, that's just the sincerest form of the flattery. I mean, that says you're a good writer. I'm going to use your stuff.
But anyway, so I got a vibe off this posting that it was a rare, real posting.
Was it the male or the female that wrote it? You think?
It was him. It was John. But so, and it had a male. It had very much male.
It had a male feel to it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people think I'm you. Because I must have a very female I must have a very female style of communication. Anyway.
You do. You're bisexual. What do you want?
I know, but so it's funny that I get a lot of, like, guys will get into, like, it'll happen sometimes, like, people will chat in, when you hear those god-awful ding-dongs.
Oh, yeah. Is that what that is?
Yeah. And so I'll, sometimes I'll throw them a bone. I'll chat a little bit and see who they are or whatever.
Yeah. What is that ding-dong?
But 9 times out of 10, they assume I'm the girl.
Right. What is that ding-dong again? Can you explain
It's chat.
Okay.
It's like they're using the application has a built-in chat feature, so it's within the application.
And is that a Craigslist feature?
No.
Okay, what is
That's
this?
SLS.
Okay, SLS has this chime that goes off when
Yeah,
someone
ding
wants-
dong. It's like a doorbell.
It's like a doorbell. That
You
means
can't disable this fucking thing. If someone in SLS knows how to do this, please write and tell us.
that means
That is the most annoying sound.
somebody wants to
ever.
chat at you because they
someone
know
has-
you're live on there.
Yes, and you can turn that off. There's certain ways you can turn it off, so that they can't do it.
Yeah.
But
I haven't heard it recently, but I did hear it quite a bit.
yeah, you can't not hear it. They can hear it on fucking Mars. It's like a nuclear bell.
Ding dong.
Yeah, it'll a nuclear winter will come. It's like an ice bell on a drum kit. You could have a nuclear bomb going off, and you will hear that fucking bell. Anyway, the ding dong, the doorbell.
And what do they think is going to happen when they chat?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's all kinds of shit. It's usually pervs. It really is. It's usually pervs. It's usually free members because they can't. That's like the only way they can talk to you.
Yeah. If you're going to be a
'Cause
member
email
on
is limited and
SLS,
stuff.
another thing.
We
guys.
highly suggest the lifetime.
Suggest lifetime
Yeah.
because
And I know that you think that we're shills for them because
no, we're not.
the truth is that it's $14 a month. But if you pay the $150 or $149
And
for the
that's
lifetime,
forever.
you're done.
Yeah. Now,
And if you're into this thing, and if you're not, and you get into it, you will find
yeah.
you're going to need stuff like this.
Right. So give yourself a goal. Say,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to try this for 6 months. If I like it, then I'm going to do the
Don't
lifetime.
waste your money.
No,
Don't
because
just
some
buy
people-
the lifetime and go for it.
Some people aren't sure.
If you're snooping around, if you're listening to this show, there's a good chance.
Yeah, if you're listening to the show, get a membership.
Either you're really horny
You can get the membership
and just
while
enjoy
you're
this kind of chat.
because you don't really have to watch us. You can listen and do the membership while you're listening.
Yeah.
But listen, when you do that, it's better than the free because you can do more and it looks better for you.
Yeah.
Like, damn, this person invested.
Yeah,
I'd like
that's
to
the other
really know
thing.
them because they
and that's
want
what
to be.
okay, now
they're
you're
really in
okay.
it
See,
with
now
like-
you're thinking
but listen,
like
with
a real
both feet. They're
Yes.
in with both feet.
Yes.
They want to really do this.
exactly,
It's cool.
and
I
it's
like
one
that.
of those things you can sort of screen for.
Right.
You can screen
You can
because those
screen.
people are in.
Yeah. And I get
Exactly.
it. Some
They've
people can't
taken it-
afford
they've
I
taken it-
get it.
They've nutted up the $125. You know what I mean? Their lifetime, so they're in the game.
Right.
Another thing. So now you're thinking because what you're doing now is is my account perceived by others?
Yes.
Okay.
Now let's.
Okay. So by a guy checking by, regardless what level it means, I'm
What
not going to jump
level?
your bones or whatever. Okay. So you can certify other couples on the system, and which basically means that you're saying these people exist. They're not phonies. They're great in bed. Whatever you want to say. Whatever
Right.
comments you want to say.
A certification. Is that what you're talking
They call
about?
it a certification. Yeah.
Right. Like a gold star.
Yeah. Exactly. And certs, we knock them if you want. They are gold. They are the best. Now there are certifications many get from clubs, which essentially read like this person exists.
This person came.
Yes,
and
this
that
person was here. They were fine.
Or they came. They
Yeah.
they attended the dance or
Yeah,
whatever. Or the
those
party.
certifications, those are like mess. If you see those if those are like in with other certs, okay. But if
Yeah.
those are their only certs,
Yeah.
just approach with more caution. Now it
Right.
could just be they're new.
Yeah, and it could just be that's where they wind up at clubs, which is
Now
fine.
we hear all kinds of things. People have opinions. If people have too many certs, it means they're whore bags or whatever the fuck. Well, I think that's crazy.
Yeah, you need to find that on
This
your own.
is the truth. The best way to do it, you better have some new cert. Because I know when I look at other accounts, if I see someone else that had a certification since 2009,
Yeah.
I wonder what the fuck is going on. Now
Right.
it could be they're just sleeping with all the same people again and again, and they're having a great time.
That could be
and
it.
they're just not getting any new certs. They have a closed loop, if you will.
Yeah, but that's
But I'm just saying, if you're
Awesome.
these are pointers,
right.
Pointers
Now,
for
do we
marketing.
Have, do we have any updated certs? When was our
Oh
one?
yeah,
We always.
we always got them coming.
we-
Well, the bad stuff are stuff like this, are the Craigslist people that fall through the cracks and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
that you can't get certs for.
Sorry, I'm moving
Hey,
around.
could you cert me? It's very important. I need this cert.
Right. Sorry, I'm moving.
But
around.
actually, who certs are very important for? Single guys. Man, any single guys who have sites, you better have certs. You better have all kinds of shit because you're just going to get ignored. That's the way it rolls for the single guys.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's some amazing single guys out there.
Which
that
is why
are gentle.
You got to go to parties and you got to pay more and you
Right.
make an investment.
Right.
Anyway,
Make
or
an
just
investment.
find a fucking girl and go to some, swing parties. Anyway,
Oh, that's true. That works too.
yeah, you can meet another swinger. You don't necessarily have to be a couple to go as a couple.
Right. Right.
We're just coupling up for the reduced rate.
We're planning on going to a party in the future with someone we met,
Yes,
a third person.
Yes, indeed.
And you know what? It's cool because this particular person is transgender and doesn't know anybody. So that's how you fucking meet people. And then you go places together. And then you meet more people. And then you go places together. And then you meet more people. And then it's like, oh my God.
Why can't I'm like sitting here? Who the fuck is this?
Huh?
Who is this? Who am I thinking of? Who is that?
Our Morristown friend. Who travels.
Oh, okay. Yes. All right.
It was briefly spoken about, and she was like delighted. She loved that idea.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Wait a
isn't
minute.
it better to attend a party with people that have already been there together?
It's so funny. We were saying we're in a slump. And I don't know how I could have forgot.
Oh, my God.
Like, we had a really hot night with her.
I know. That was
That
so
was
much
amazing.
fun. And you know what?
That was
well,
but that was,
listen.
see, it's weird. The weekday ones, they get forgotten.
The weekday
The
ones.
midday ones. Well, Tuesday night, you forget those.
See, this is someone that I'm telling you,
We've met a few
probably the
times.
first time I was like, meh, that. But
No, she's
I've
really
grown
hot.
to
She's hot.
really, really enjoy this person.
She's got a tight little body. Yeah.
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 But I really like her.
Yeah.
She's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll go on.
Yeah, so...
I can't say her name, can I? Can I say-
Yeah, I mean, you could say her female name, yeah.
Stacy, right?
Yeah.
Stacy, yep.
Yeah, so, yeah.
So talking about certs.
I'm like completely like drifting. I'm like, where are we going here? So yeah, even though I felt like we were in a slump, but I guess the thing there is since, we've met Stacy before, so it wasn't like,
Yeah.
so whenever she comes into town,
Yeah.
because
She travels.
she's from out of town.
Right. I think we even have video.
You have to go there, right? No, we don't. Not at all. No video exists of anybody or anything. I don't know why you'd bring up such a crazy
I know.
thought.
That's silly.
Yeah, so as we move right along, but forever, I guess I discounted her in terms of our slumpage because I guess she really could have been the breaking of the slump.
I know.
But then, so Saturday I see this ad and I respond and even though I just warned everyone, when you see a kick address, treat it with caution if they post it. But these folks posted a kick address.
Cool.
And so I went directly to the kick address. Now, I have to admit, the thing that jumped out at me immediately was the fact that she was 26 and he was 29.
Right.
So, right there, there were no pictures in the ad, which is that's very typical of couple ads because, they want to keep their anonymity,
Right.
You don't want, although there is that argument of why were you on Craigslist when you saw me?
Yeah. If you
Why
saw
were you
me on
looking at couples
Craigslist,
ads? Yeah.
Why the fuck
But
were you there?
Granted,
Yeah, but people need
there's a give and play. All right.
people need to do what's most comfortable. For them.
Exactly. So, so I kicked out to them saying that, I saw their ad, I thought we had a lot in common, and that, because they were out of town and staying with family, they didn't have a place. They couldn't. So I said, we could host, as in the lingo. Hosting means that you have a place, or you can have them over.
And then you get it ready in like 45 minutes when they come.
Yeah, so, and it was already late, too. Because you
my
stepped
God.
out, I don't remember where you went to, that you ran out to get something, or
I either went out or took more
or you're
somewhere.
taking more, I think, a sleepover or some shit.
was something like that.
Yeah, so then, so then I get a quick response. They asked, our location. They asked our ages.
Yeah.
Now, I'd sent a picture because I'm at the point now that I don't have a problem. I'll send a G-rated face picture,
You did?
Yeah, I always do. There's a couple pictures of it.
Which one?
I don't know. I've got like 4 or 5. But, I mean, they're pictures that you could pull off our Facebook account.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's nothing weird or embarrassing about it.
Yeah.
So, I shot them that, and then they shot pictures back, and I was like, oh, boy, they're cute. So, and just empirically, because of age, chances are they're going to be cuter than the average bear. But, they were very cute. And so I lied about our age. They were like, how old are you? And so I said 36 and 39.
Right.
Because they'd already seen a picture of us. So,
And we look 36 and 39.
well, I found that we can pass it off. We can pull it off. I don't know why. We can usually pull off 10 years younger than us. You for sure. And me by association to you. I can never pull off your age, even though we are the same age, roughly, within months.
Right.
But you look a lot younger than I. You pull off age a lot better than I do. Age is catching up with me. It's not catching up with you the same. You're gorgeous and hot and sexy and all that stuff still. So
Thank you.
You can easily pass for 10 years younger. And you did. So...
Until...
No, well, hang on. So I tell you, man, that's another one of those things. Like with buy, if you check buy, then guys see your account and realize that when you certify them, people will look at your cert, see that you're buy, and think that they're buy, and then the contagion continues.
Okay, and what's the harm?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's part of, that is why.
Oh my God.
By simply stating you're bi, you knock out your chances because paranoid guys are like, I don't want a certification from a bi person. People think I'm gay.
Oh my God.
Okay, so
Whatever.
just another one of those things I've noticed, observations.
You're on fucking SLS and you're worried about the fucking someone thinking you're
Only
bi. Who
girls can be
cares?
gay on SLS, Gene.
Yeah, but it's your swinging. It's not like you're. I mean,
Meanwhile, half these fucks will do DP with girls and basically be rubbing their cocks
they'll both
against
wanna
another
fuck her in the ass
guy's
at the
cock.
same time. God,
Exactly.
It's like.
And as Amber Rose said, she's like, this is like one of the most popular questions. Is my boyfriend gay or am I gay because I like this or that?
Yeah, and it's not.
That's why it's so great to be bi, because the irrelevancy of all of that
and
stuff
the
just
thing is,
flies out the window. It's like, doesn't matter. Are you attracted to the person? Is it fun? Does it feel good? Does it turn you on? Does it turn them on?
And it's so important.
Are you guys having a good time?
To have to label it and to kind of describe it and you know what, just do it.
But
I
the danger there though, and we encounter this a lot, and it's usually with closet people, is that this whole, it's all fluid anyway. It doesn't matter. So why say that I'm bi? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
it's that dismissal. It's like, it's the old, all politicians lie anyway.
Yeah.
Which is a dismissal. I'm just going to dismiss the whole thing.
I get
Which is basically them saying I'm too gutless to come out of the closet.
Yeah. I mean, coming or going into the lifestyle.
I'm not there yet is a better way to put it.
If you're in the lifestyle,
Because
that's like a giant step. So maybe doing,
yeah, but
but
you can be in the lifestyle and not be gay, bi, or otherwise.
That's true.
We are more of an exception to the rule than the rule.
Yeah, I'm glad.
However,
I'm happy being bi.
I think we are a lot more common, particularly in younger groups.
Yeah,
So anyway, speaking of younger, so again, once the ice was broken on Kick, it kind of flowed very, very naturally.
Right. What did you say on Kick? You just said, "Hey, we're here," and
hey, we're doing this. Here's where we are. I responded to I think that one I did directly. I even said our town name, our fake ages, and whatever other
our fake ages.
Yeah, and then, and it was another email or two before it felt like ice is broken. But I say email, but I meant Kick message.
Yeah, and
then next thing you know, we're it just I could tell they're coming. It was, we even got started late, and for us, because we're old fuddy-duddies, like...
Yeah, you're actually better than me because I start like fading like around like 10:30. I just
Yeah.
and that's
And
when
here's
they
the
were
funny thing,
coming.
like I didn't even, like we didn't really make contact until 8:30.
I know.
And so we were talking about like maybe a 9, whatever we were talking.
No, it was like 10:30.
Oh yeah, it was like, yeah, before you know it was like 10, so it must have been
10:30 they
9ish.
came.
Yeah. So like within a couple hours, this was all a go.
Yeah.
The place was a mess, but it didn't matter.
Yeah, but it was fine. I mean, it turned out fine.
Yeah, all is well. And you came in from your, from that errand, like everything had changed. You've gone from like, I'm just going to come home and like do nothing and, flop around to,
Yeah,
hey,
which
we
is
got
probably what I would have done.
we didn't really have big plans.
No.
So I keep making these long pauses to think about what I'm saying. So we make plans to meet them at a little rendezvous spot.
Yeah.
Which, again, it's a quick public meeting. But we knew I had such a vibe on this one. Like, you could just tell. Things were clicking. I even said that in one of our last, like, notes to each other. I was like, things just seem to be clicking so naturally here. I'm just going to, here's the rest of the information you need. I'm not worried. I get a good vibe on this. And everything came together, and next thing you know, I did get a little nervous because we were like 5 minutes late when we got up there, and they were still another 10 minutes late at least.
Yeah.
But they got there, and they got there just in time because we gave them about 15 minutes.
I think we were almost going to leave.
Yeah, because I was like, all right, we'll give them 15 minutes, and if we don't, and
then
I knew that they couldn't respond too. That was the bummer. And we never confirmed on phone numbers.
Because
that's how fast this happened. It never moved off kick.
And if we had left, they wouldn't have been able to contact us.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have our address, right?
Yeah. So, next thing you know, they pulled up in the little thing, and God, they're such an adorable couple.
Oh my God, they were so cute.
God. It was...
Both of them were cute.
Yeah. It was like he's big and tall and, young and really like smiley and
oh my God, I can't even we have to wait because as we get in we'll talk more about it, but every time I looked at him he was just smiling.
What would be a good way to describe her? We've Sean Young came to mind. We realized
I love Sean Young.
Yeah, Sean Young from the 80s, from when she was at her peak. Back when
she was in that movie with oh God, the guy from
No Way Out.
No Way Out. Yeah.
No Way Out.
And she was very polished in that, of course. But...
Yeah, she was also in fucking, what do you call it? Blade Hunner. Blade Runner.
Yeah, she was in Blade Runner. But like there was like a very like natural and just
fuck you, symbiote.
Yeah. But like and Sean Young is one of those people like I don't go around saying I love Sean Young. She's just always been.
I think that would be a good
I've always
shorter hair, but that sort of look. Just I kind of got the vibe that like she was this is just a total aside. I don't know this to be true, but she was a smart girl in school who didn't get as much of the looks from the boys that she should have. Because
can I tell you guys?
Underneath that fucking...
I know.
Underneath those clothes... Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm assuming in high school. Anyway. So, yeah, what a great young...
She reminded me a lot of myself when
couple.
I was her age.
Yeah, so we came back here, and this is the first couple I think that we've ever done this with. And I just knew it was going to be okay because of, again, their age. They're young. So we kind of just brought them right into the studio and just started hanging out and talking and telling them about what we do. And we found out about what they do, and they're from like overseas. I mean, they're from here originally, but now they live abroad.
Right.
And they're about to move from one like Asian country, a country in Asia,
to somewhere like totally different.
Yeah,
like
to
opposite.
To another country that hobbits would dwell.
Oh, Frodo.
So I mean, we got to talk about all that
and
stuff.
Bilbo.
It was just amazing. It was really cool, and again, because they're young, they don't. It's not that like they just get when we talk about what we do and what we're, the podcasting and all that stuff.
And they
get it and they think it's cool, but you don't have to explain it to them. You know what I mean?
No,
it's
they're like, whoa, that's what you do. I love that.
Yeah, and it's part of the fabric. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you may. I don't know if any of them said that they listened to any shows, but
no,
like
but they loved that we worked together. I mean, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
It's like.
Yeah. So
they're very sweet.
Yeah. And then so sexy. So fucking sexy.
We haven't even gotten into that yet.
I don't know how much we want to get into. So yeah, we hung out in
problem.
here for a while, but not as like there's been times where we've hung out way too long. But
no, we didn't.
And I made sure that wasn't going to happen. Plus I knew like by the time they got here, we're rapidly approaching, we're going from 10 to 11 to midnight.
And they were like a little late too, so it was
exactly. So it's getting late in Denmark.
Yeah, we didn't really talk as much long as I thought we were when I looked at the clock. So I'm like, wait, I guess we didn't really talk that long. It seemed longer than it was.
And I don't know.
But I like that part. That was fun.
I never could get clear confirmation, and I could be wrong, but this might have been their first like official sort of outing. Like they may have slept with other people before.
I thought they said like 3 or 4 other people.
Did they say that? 3 or 4 other people.
Other couples, or I don't know how they did.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Now, what that says to me is they may have been either people they knew, or I don't know. It just felt like, they were really new. So this might have been their first solicited sort of date, if you will.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either, because they didn't really share that.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Well, they shared that they were very new, and they shared, they'd done a lot of it. And I thought that towards the end, I kind of said, so what'd you think, like of your first experience or something like that? And it wasn't like they didn't cop to it not being. So, regardless, if that's so, even better. Such an honor.
I think with her, it might have been the first time.
Yeah, such an honor.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
You guys have no idea. And I say that over and over because I don't even think
because it's one of those encounters that totally rocked our world and our head exploded. And,
like, they had fun, but they really have no idea. Like, how
they
much
were incredible.
Fun I had.
And
they were so, like, great.
Yeah. And
she was so sexy and soft and just perfect.
And again, there's things that in their 20s, like, I don't know if I knew to do some of the things, like eye contact and all that kind of stuff. And just... I summed it up. I even said it to her, and that's why I think it might have been. I said it to both of them, but I know she was listening. I said, "Isn't it great? You get this experience. You get to fall in love just a little bit for a little while."
Yeah.
And
what did she say?
She shook her head and said, "Yeah, I mean, she had a great time. She was devoured by everybody at one point or another, physically and literally." Where's my thing? Where are my sound effects? Ah! Or else I pick your least favorite.
I hate that. Why doesn't it even apply?
All right, so where do we want to go from here? So, I mean, I took the bull by the horns this time. I said, because we were already sort of talking, like there was talking about, so how do we break the ice? There was already sort of talking of like, so how do we do this? How do we go from this mode to that mode?
Right.
So it was around that time I said, well, let me make some preps. I went in the other room, threw on, set things up to be able to play adult entertainment on the video screen. I probably did a couple of, dim the lights, got the room ready. And then I said to myself, self, the Russia and Trump thing. No.
Oh my God.
I said
that was talked about a little bit.
We talked about the date last week.
Yeah.
But you could tell these guys were, they're young.
Yeah.
They're liberal. They were sexy. They
don't even live in the United States.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They give a shit? Yeah. No, hold on. I don't know. I didn't mean it like that, but.
So I make a suggestion that okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move in the other room now, and we're gonna all get on. We're gonna all get on the bed, and it's gonna be boy, girl, girl, boy.
And I swear to God, I started hysterical laughing and I ran into the bathroom. You didn't know that, did you?
I don't know.
Because
And
when
the
I
reason
heard you were like, okay, kids.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Boy, girl, boy,
and the
girl,
reason I did that was like, I figure let's just, because this is the way.
I know.
I'm
And
just
it was right.
setting it up for optimum action. We're losing daylight.
Right.
We're losing our scene.
And the freaking.
We're losing the
was
magic
so-
hour.
Yeah, so that was the way.
And we lose the caterer in 20 minutes.
And I'm fucking hungry, okay?
Yeah. So anyway,
So
I just
that's
take the
what
bull
it
by the
was,
horns, and we go in
so-
there. And it's funny because we have this one porn that we use as our icebreaker because
my
it's
God.
got humor in it.
It was, yeah.
I don't even like. There's this guy in it. He's a yoga instructor. Like it's a yoga class.
Yeah.
They're waiting on the replacement instructor. The guy comes in and like does all kinds of stupid
And he's
shit.
very
Essentially, like puts his balls in their face, and
Yeah, very like on.
it's way over the top.
Yeah, and it's very unprofessional.
No one would ever be offended by it so much as know that it's total, goofy. And of course, as happens in all porn, to punish him for his bad behavior, they fuck the shit out of him, but good.
Yeah,
As should be proper punishment
Right. because he was so bad.
because he was like sexually harassing women in a yoga class.
Yeah,
And there's another guy in it too that he harassed just because he happened to be there, whose dick is
I like that guy.
huge. Me too.
I don't really like
As long as
the,
my fucking arm.
Yeah, he has a big cock. So.
Yeah, you can put it over his shoulder.
And walk around like that.
Yes. Anyway.
God, allergies. Do you have bad allergies today?
Yeah, and plus we keep going off book.
My nose is so like
Yeah,
itchy.
and I'm all dry and everything else. So that's why I kind of want to move. I
So
feel like
we
we should probably wrap this up.
So we got into the bedroom. And we did. It was
Yeah, they took
Scott
my
and then
thing.
me, and then Rose, and then John. So that's how it went. So
Yeah, and
I look over, and then all I could think of was like, oh my God, no one is kissing this gorgeous girl that's right next to me. I guess I
I
will.
would say, why don't you kiss her?
So-
Something like that.
No, you did?
I nudged. You said something like that, and I said,
No,
well,
I
why don't
said-
you help yourself or something like that?
No, I said something like, do you like to kiss?
I felt like I felt like you're. Oh,
Do you
yeah,
like
and
to
then I
kiss?
said something like,
Yeah, and
that's when I said something, and you were
yeah.
like,
What
you're a
was-
dick.
Yeah, but like, don't say that. So
Well, I was like,
anyway-
does it do?
Well, I
Why
don't
else would
know.
we be here, Captain Obvious? You know what I mean?
A lot of people don't kiss. We've been with people that don't.
Yeah, but they would have been screened out. Kissing is important to us. That's a deal breaker.
Okay, so was that discussed on
that-
the kick? Was that discussed on the
No,
kick?
no, true, very point. But
So hey, I didn't.
you're
know.
right. There was a. That's true. This did move very quickly, so
Yeah.
that there were a lot of details
So
that we.
like
I don't.
this whole background shit, like
Yeah, a lot
get
of-
it done.
There
No,
was not
I
a.
could do that.
Yes, there was not deep cover. There wasn't a deep dive background
Yeah.
check.
So I
on this
asked.
one.
Which,
This was
that's what I do.
Yeah, right.
I don't just jump in.
Yeah.
And she
But next
liked
thing you
it,
guys were
and
kissing,
It was
and
great.
it was-
Oh my God. Can I tell you?
Next thing you know, he was naked.
He
He like
was-
jumped out of his
he-
clothes watching you two.
I loved him, and he. Can I tell you? I loved him. I
Very
loved both of them.
enthusiastic. Yeah,
But at
the
one
smiles and the
but
just the
listen,
big smile on
listen
his
to this.
face from ear to ear was
Because
amazing.
I want to give you a visual because it's fun to have a visual, isn't it? So, first of all, kissing her was like kissing like I don't know, like
A 26-year-old girl.
like a butterfly or something. I don't know, like not moving. I don't know. So,
yeah, she was a good kisser.
but it was just like the
Very
it was
feminine.
like
Very feminine.
feminine and sweet and just like perfect.
Most
So-
guys don't know how to kiss. That's for damn sure.
Well, he did too. He knew how to kiss too. He was great.
Didn't go there.
So anyway, Rose and I went like moved around, and we were now at the towards the end of the bed. So I look over, and he's just smiling and looking. So then
Yeah. He was
just kinda,
He was doing that creepy standing above you thing.
but it wasn't creepy. I totally got it. I totally got where he was
Well,
at.
because he was smiling, and
But
it wasn't.
she wasn't. But she wanted like, oh, come, But I was like, no, he likes to watch. Like that's what he's got. He likes that, and he's like shaking his head, like, yeah.
I
But
do
it was-
think what was really there was a lot of things going on at that point. He wasn't sure how much he could, sort of lay his hands on you.
And that was happening too. Like he wasn't
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
how
yeah,
much he
yeah.
could be involved without
Yeah.
like getting too
And
much.
it's so weird too because because we didn't, You nailed it, because it was a Craigslist thing where there aren't
Yeah.
the same amount of detail generally.
Right. I had no idea. I didn't know
Yeah,
who was
so
into what.
yeah.
So, like, I was very careful. Like, there were times that I was like, but I think she appreciated it too, and I think he did, because, like we had talked about in the beginning, it's like this seemed to be one of the first times, or very close to one of the first times.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I didn't want it to be like a bad experience.
Well, if that was her first experience with a girl, it was an amazing experience by all accounts. Because wow, you guys were amazing.
You have no idea. That's what I keep saying. You have no idea, because it was like, if at any time I was in the moment, it was like Saturday night.
Now the funny thing
You
was,
can't not be.
like, okay, sort of at 2 a.m., like, I was ready to close things out. You know what I mean? I was ready to,
Yeah.
let's do the needful or whatever. You know, like at that point, I had no problems with full swap, as they say in the
Right.
in the community.
Yeah. See, but I don't know.
And I'm sure you would have, right? You were fine with that, right? He was
I
hot. He
would've.
was very.
I just wanted it to be. I didn't know if it was okay.
Yeah.
on that side.
Well, if granted, all of those things, and which is rare, because usually we are not a first date all the way kind of couple.
No, but they were different.
But everything was right. The vibe was right. Everything was right. This might have been the only opportunity for a long time, if ever again, because of their living situation or whatever.
Yeah.
And everything felt
that
right.
part sucks, because that's like losing like a friend.
But it's not like he knew that. But then he glanced at the clock. He's like, "Holy shit, is that the time?"
Yeah.
So that we were like essentially flopping around in that bed for easily 2 hours,
Oh God.
but
yeah.
probably 3, because I
Yeah.
was not sure when we went
3
in,
fucking hours.
at
man.
least. So yeah, and I'm gonna say, how can I say this? As is very common with a lot of first dates, unless you ladies did, and I think she did.
What did she do?
She might have been the only one to come.
See, I didn't know if she did.
Yeah.
At
And if
some
she
point,
didn't-
I heard a thank you. I was like, wait a minute, thank you.
And it is not that. It's very. I find it very common for that to happen, particularly on first dates, but on a lot of dates, and then the couples go home and finish. You know, just because I don't know
God,
why.
it's great.
I think I know from my perspective, from a guy perspective, I only got one in me. So I want to prolong it as long as I can go.
Right.
You know,
Right.
especially with such an amazing couple, I'd rather let me lay around for 4 or 5 hours.
I think she may have come. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I think she did too.
Because there was a point I heard
Yeah,
thank you or something. I was like, oh.
So if she did, she's the only one, which makes sense because she got the majority of the attention.
Oh my God, yeah.
There was never a moment she wasn't with somebody. So, and she had such a beautiful body.
Yeah, she was great.
Perfect boobs, and because they're so young, everything's all firm and tight and right. Mm-hmm. Start talking in the wrong. Am I in the wrong zone?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, sorry.
Kind of getting.
Well, I mean, no, she was just really hot. She's beautiful. She's young.
She was.
That is one of those empirical things. When people are younger, everything's tighter. We were fucking tighter when we were fucking 26. Mm-hmm. Hey, but we're not so bad. So, that was the thing. At one point, I did kind of feel guilty, and it is a little bit of a satisfaction thing. But when things were heating up and everyone's having a good time, probably about an hour in, or maybe only 30 minutes in, you can't even tell. I said, we do have one confession we have to make. We are not 36 and 39. We're 47. And then you go, 46.
I know, but. Ugh.
I know, because you're not. I mean, granted, I guess it's under 6 months, so.
I know, it was just like the timing was kind of funky.
It was a weird.
It was like a
It was almost blurted out.
It was nervously blurted out.
Because it was on my mind, and I figured I didn't want to be, It was one of those things I just wanted to get out there,
Right.
Because I hate misrepresenting. And also, at that point, it's proof that age is bullshit.
Yeah,
you know
they
what I mean?
agreed. They didn't care.
Yeah, at that point, nobody cares. But pre-screening data, when you're over 40, you will just get pinged right out, man. It happens all the time on SLS too. I see it. Younger couples. I can't figure out any other reason why we'd be rejected other than the fact that our age or the bisexuality thing. Those are the two bigger rejector factors. And the fact that we're open and honest about it, which scares people. Because then, if we certify them, oh my God, we're gay!
Why are you on SLS if you're not going to be open and honest? Like, what are you doing?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
But if you're going to be the same you are...
But not everyone is. A lot of people are in the closet about their swinging, about their lifestyle. The same way they're in the closet, people are in the closet about their sexuality.
No, but they're
Some people are in the closet about both.
They're in the closet on SLS?
Yeah. There are people in the closet on SLS. Their pictures have no faces associated with them. Yes. There are people who want to be anonymous about this. Okay. But you can understand.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I mean... Not everyone's as progressive as us. If you live down in fucking Virginia or some shit, like, I don't know, Wyoming.
Yeah, the only people at SLS that are seeing you are people that are in SLS.
Yeah.
So, that person's in SLS too. So
but they're not the only people that can access SLS. Anybody can search SLS.
That's true. But if you're searching SLS, like, what are you trying to? What are you?
What are you there for?
Yeah.
What are you searching?
You're just searching for me. That's
you're trying to get laid, is what you're doing, or you're horny. Well, yeah. There's a lot of horny guys out there, Gene. I know this might sound shocking,
Whoa.
And with the internet. But I will say this: I wonder if they did a rape study. If rape has gone down in the age of the internet.
Why? Because of porn?
Well, yeah, because of access to porn. Because, okay.
Yeah, but it's still not fucking someone.
Yeah, but here's the thing. At least for males, this happens all the time in Craigslist shit. Like.
Some men are gross. Let's just say that.
No, here's what happens. The guys are all horny. They go online looking for guys to hook up with.
They're looking for guys?
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. You have no idea how many closet cases are on fucking Craigslist.
I know. It's so sad. I can't.
So anyway, what happens generally is, here's the way it happens. So they exchange emails and get turned on by the whole thing and jerk themselves off, and then they're fine. They disappear. They don't need to go out and do that thing anymore because.
God. So they get fulfilled from that.
Yeah. Well, guys, you see, it's different with women. Women can. You don't have a refractory period. You don't have.
No, but wouldn't you rather fuck somebody than jerk off?
But you don't understand. Once a guy comes, physiologically, your whole nature changes. I swear to God, it is like it is Mr. Jekyll, Dr. Jekyll, and Mr. Hyde. It is that much drastic a difference.
What, like you turn into a dick?
No, like all your senses are come back to you. It is like you are
caveman.
It really is. Like the closer you get to the act of coming itself, the more like berserking. Yeah, exactly. You know that story in the Bible about
so stupid looking.
You know the story in the Bible about. There's a story you can always identify with. The story about King Herod and the Baptist, John the Baptist.
Yeah.
That the princess was dancing.
Yeah.
And dancing is a metaphor for sex, of course.
Okay.
And he promised her anything.
Yeah.
As she worked up his, and then she used it again, and then he came, and then she said, "I want the head of John the Baptist," and he said, "Oh fuck, I like John the Baptist." See what I mean?
Because he said all that.
But then your senses come back to you because you just came, and you're like, "Oh,
should I promise that? I don't want to do that."
It is again like for a guy, it is like Dr. Jekyll.
It's very primal for men.
Yeah, so once the foreplay starts, you'll notice like guys just drift further and further away from their senses because it's the whole sexual thing. And once you come, it is over. It's like
two men together.
It's like you just go from 60 to 0 like
Is that why
that.
like two men together is so hot? Because they're both like two primal like beasts
I guess.
going at it?
I think that it's hot because it's erotic.
Yeah.
That's why. Because it's sexual and it's human. And just the same way when guys look at two girls, it's very erotic. And because it just is. And I'm sure the taboo does add a little, spice. Ooh, this is
But there's some women that don't like that.
very few.
Well,
We've had this discussion.
I know, but
Come on. What? There's things you kind of notice about those women. The ones who are vehemently, ew, it's gross. Either A, methinks thou dost protest too much.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to fuck them anyway.
They're probably, or yes, you probably wouldn't want to fuck them anyway. I mean, let's be honest.
That's actually an abortion joke, but...
Yeah, but it's
Sure,
pretty
sure.
much the same. It applies here.
Right.
Chicks that think lesbianism is gross.
I mean, that's
I guess if you're into, God, it's so hard to have a show like this, and
But they compare...
unless you're like the most massive bull dyke, you know what I mean?
People compare homosexuality to bestiality. These are people that are...
Those are fucking idiots.
I know. But
Those
that's
are
what I
fucking
mean.
idiots.
They're like, that is so, like... How could you even compare the two?
Because they're assholes, or they're ignorant fucks, or they're Nazis, or
Yeah.
they're racist.
It's not the same thing, people.
It's like this. It was announced today that the Supreme Court is going to take up the case wherein, the cake baker case.
Yeah.
The cake bakers that want to be able to deny baking a cake for a gay couple because it's against the particular religion that they serve.
Fuck your religion.
Well, here's my question to that. What the fuck is the difference? If that's the way we're going to be now, then why don't I do it to a Jew? I don't like Jews. I don't like the Jewish religion. The Jews killed my Lord. I'm not baking a cake for a Jew. What's the difference?
If it's
There's
against
nothing.
you,
There's no
yeah.
fucking difference. That's the only case you need to make to the Supreme Court.
Right. Well, it's good that the Supreme
That's
Court
what I
is
would say to them. I'd say, listen, okay, today it's the gays. What's the difference between the gays and the Jews? They shouldn't be able to. The Jews killed his Lord. Why the fuck should he have to bake a cake for a Jew if he doesn't want to? Oh, I know why. The first fucking amendment. Religious freedom, religious tolerance, and tolerance of non-religion. That means you as a business can't discriminate against somebody based on their sex, creed, religion, or whatever, or you're being discriminatory. Your business will close. And it should. Anyway, so there you go. There's no difference. It's again, we're allowed to go against gay people. So much ignorance. So many ignorant fucks.
It was Pride Day yesterday.
I know,
Pride
yes.
Day.
Woohoo.
Yeah, there was a lot of parades and...
Well, but it feels like we're wrapping this up. So before we wrap this up, I just want to say our sincerest thank you, love yas, whatever you want to call it. We had an amazing time. You guys are amazing. We hope that the next time that you are in town...
love your boosh.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. Yo, should we talk about that at all?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. This is another thing we've noticed. Young people trend. We had...
I wouldn't only call it a young person trend. Let's just say that.
And I expressed how I feel about it, which has not really changed all that much.
You can have your opinion.
Yes.
Everybody can.
So as it appears that right now, the look for ladies is, I guess, au naturel.
See, now, I don't think it
I don't know
was...
it's everybody, but
I don't know if it was
it's a growing
intentional.
trend.
I don't know if it was an intentional thing. It could have just, like...
I get the vibe that it was, but okay.
I
got the vibe that was a choice.
She was.
I could see that little feminist thing there, a little feminist streak.
Oh yeah, I mean, it
and
didn't
that
bother
could go
me
along with that
at all because
no, me either.
If I don't shave,
I don't give a
have
shit.
bush.
My personal feeling is that we say it in jest. If you expect somebody to put their mouth somewhere, you generally want to clean it up.
Yeah,
You know,
it was clean. There was nothing
Yeah,
dirty about
that's
it.
not what I meant. Yeah, but I say that with regards to
Yeah.
hair. It just makes access easier.
Yeah. But there was a shyness about it because it,
Yeah, and see, I didn't hear what was going on.
and
I just heard her say something to the effect of she was going to keep her underpants on, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds like."
Yeah, because that's happened to me.
Yeah,
Because
it sounds
of
like,
when
and Flo's in town.
Flo's in town.
And that's what I thought was going on, and that's fine. There's lots of stuff you can do that
Yeah.
over and above. And if anyone willing to sleep with me, they get a pass on all kinds of shit. You can have fucking a wooden leg with a kickstand on it. Ah,
He's not picky.
nah, that's not true. Come on, that's not true.
It's a joke. Especially when you said a wooden leg with a kickstand.
I was
It was a
kidding.
joke.
Of course, I'm picky.
It was a joke.
Okay.
So
Moving
anyway,
on.
I said
We love you guys. You guys are awesome. We can't wait
but
to see you again.
I wanted to continue with what I said.
The Bush song. The Bush song.
The Bush.
I don't know what I'm talking. Yeah, so she was on Natural downstairs, but that was,
Yeah.
But wait,
I
she was
told
so young, like it mattered. What, I said the young thing again?
No, I'm just not. I wanted to say something. I'm trying
Sorry,
to get it
I keep
out.
stepping on you.
I said to her, I said, if you don't mind, I don't mind, because I don't. I like what's there. I don't care
Yeah.
if you have hair or not.
I like
it's
you.
Still what's there. I like you.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my God.
Yeah, at that point, it was like,
Oh, you have no idea.
She could have had a dick and it
I
would have been
couldn't
fine.
even have told you. Well, I'm glad she didn't, but that's fine. I mean, if she did,
listen to
fine.
you, Amber
but-
Rose over there.
No, this particular girl, I'm glad she didn't. Someone else could, and it's fine. But
I
this
just
particular
dissed
girl,
Amber.
I'm glad she didn't.
I just dissed Amber Rose a little bit. In jest, that was a fun one. Kind of like what I said to her last week when I was like, we know it won't be a bisexual guy.
Right. But yeah, I mean, she was. Yeah,
She's adorable. Adorable.
Yes.
Adorable is a perfect word for the two of them.
right.
As a couple, individually, I mean, they were just yummy. Lots of fun. So much fun, too. I think that was it, too. Never felt self-conscious. Never felt, it was always fun.
Right.
It was always an adventure or whatever, it was, not all dates go like that.
No.
And that's why this one really, rung a bell. And plus,
Some people
they're
try
fucking
too hard.
gorgeous, too.
Some people
Yeah.
try too hard, and it's
Yeah.
just like.
And we've learned to totally lower expectations. It's all good in the hood, Whatever happens or doesn't happen is fine.
Right.
Not
And
coming
if you're not
was fine,
into
but
it, it's okay to say.
as soon as
so.
they were gone, we finished.
Right.
And then it's funny. I sent them, a message, and you get nervous. I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen? But finally, the next day, they sent back a message saying that they had a great time too, and they had sex 3 times and thinking about us.
I know, right? How fun is that?
Yeah. Well, it'd be more fun to have sex 3 times with us.
Yes, it would. That was fun.
It was amazing. So, we're just bragging. This was essentially a big humble brag that we can fuck 20-year-olds. Hey, see, folks, anything is possible. Even an ugly jamoke like me can have sex with beautiful people. The beautiful people. Beautiful people. Jean's giving me the hairy eye. And you know what's cool? You guys can actually see it. She's forgotten. But I didn't. All right, well, we'll get out of here. Do we want to do a letter? We've been doing it. It's a long show.
Well,
I think people are done.
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do either one. It's fine.
Do we have one?
It's a.
It's always good to save one.
It's a gentleman this time, but I don't want to say their name. But I mean, I have it all up in here. I don't need.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, if you got it, then we'll discuss this. Gives me a conundrum to work on.
My Gene and Scott. I'm not going to say the person's name. My son caught me in girls' clothes, like cross dressing. I don't know, like how do I?
So
hang
on. A father.
Yeah.
Was experimenting and/or is a drag queen.
Right. Or cross-dresser. I mean, it doesn't have to be.
Whatever. Drag queen's a good word.
Yeah.
Because that's someone who's in women's clothing.
Right.
Or cross-dresser. I guess, yeah, because cross-dresser,
It's not
you
the
can...
same.
Yeah, a drag queen is a cross-dresser.
I
A
think.
cross-dresser is not necessarily a drag queen.
Yeah, I think a
Drag queen's full. Like, you're going...
A drag queen, you're in it 100%.
Yeah, you're head to toe.
And I think a cross-dresser is
can
off and on.
I can wear underpants. I just wear nylons and this. I don't
It's
do
like
that.
off and on. It's
and
not.
you're like a hairy guy and fucking. Oh.
Not all
I'm
guys.
sorry. It's just not my thing. You know. I mean, my feeling is if you're gonna switch. Don't. If you're gonna go. Don't go half.
Wow.
Don't go like I'm a hairy dude in pantyhose. You know what I mean? That's nobody likes
No,
that.
that's what he likes. So
No,
that
but
doesn't mean
nobody
that you
likes
will
that.
not like. There's some people out there.
Oh no! All right. Well, okay. I guess
We all like different things.
that's true. I'm the judgment here.
So what would you say to that person? Like, how do you go approach it?
See, those are rough ones, man. I mean, because so much of that depends on the relationship between the son and the father.
Right.
Like, you know, all right, let's take a typical, let me add, what the fuck's the word I'm looking for? Let me add details. Thank you.
Okay.
But suppose details, some supposition here.
Right.
Let's suppose that the child has no idea. You know what I mean? So it's not like a situation where someone's at, like our situation, where people are out of the closet, kids know, so on and so forth. So it would be something that would be shocking.
Right.
So coming from that angle, I mean, if you're someone who's comfortable lying, and you're anywhere near Halloween, if you're anywhere near October,
Yeah.
you can always say, I was trying on my Halloween costume.
Yeah, but seriously?
Oh, that's the standard cross-dresser fucking excuse.
Really?
Oh, yeah, a lot of guys use that.
Oh, it's your kid though. It's like if someone like you're like almost kind of like molding kind of.
I'm giving options. It's
Yeah.
it really does depend on your situation and your relationship with your kid. That could be devastating. I mean, your kid could. I mean, if you don't have a good relationship with your kid, they could think you're a freak, or you know what I mean, or God forbid you're someone who's actually espoused homophobia and that kind of shit. Although I wouldn't think anyone listening to our show would then write about it. But.
Yeah, but God forbid if you're vocal about it and you say like gays are scum and
and
then
what else is going on? Does the guy have does he have a hard on? You know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of details that matter in this situation.
That's got to be shocking.
Which, as John Oliver pointed out, one of the most devastating childhood things is not polio. Yeah. It was accidentally seeing your old man's penis.
Right. So. That happened to me. I was older.
It happens to every kid.
I was older.
Eventually you see it and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, but I was older. An older person.
Did you suck it? I'm sorry. That was so out of line. I don't even know why I went there.
Well, I
think it was just the compulsion to say what you shouldn't.
I think I was like 17 or 18. So I was
legal. That is way too long. Yes. There was no touching though, right?
No, but it was
confess. It was awkward. Well, that's because you moved in with your dad. You get divorced. You were living with your mom. And you moved back in with dad, and that.
Yeah,
I could see that happening.
Yeah, but I think he was fucking my stepmom then too.
Wait a minute here. What, he was fucking her and you were watching?
No, it was like I heard it because we lived together. They were in the bedroom.
No, what are you gonna do? You get carried away.
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
There's been a concern in this house from time to time.
It has not been
again, we are open about a lot of this stuff. Obviously, we're doing a show, but you don't want to flaunt it. You don't want to taunt people.
No, it's not like he's walking around swinging his dick around. Yeah. It just happened. But it wasn't like it was an experience that I'm like haunted by.
It's just creepy.
And it was like
it's weird that it happened so late in life.
Yeah, and
usually
I know what a dick looks like. It wasn't like I didn't know what it looked like then.
See, because usually happens when you're little, and when you're little,
that's when
you're little, so everything else looks big. So your parents, that's actually probably your dad's. Whoa. That's probably your dad's best day. You know, it's Dad's best day in his life. Like, oh my God, I scared the shit out of my kid with my fucking 2-inch penis.
My penis scared my son.
Man.
He's a man now.
Yeah.
Where did you wind up? Where did you start?
I don't know anymore. I think that's why we should end the show. Oh, yeah, because we're talking about the guy. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so my advice would be if your situation is that you can be honest, be honest.
Yeah, like maybe go out for lunch and talk about it, or just go somewhere where he likes.
I would say send a text.
Really?
Yeah.
Because maybe they don't want to sit and talk about it.
Yeah, people take shit for people. Don't always want those fucking.
That's true. Like
that's more for you.
That's you're right. You're right.
You know what I mean? Like if you're taking people out to lunch, no, that's because of you.
That's so
true. Trust me. You want to clear the air as fast as possible. You don't want to linger, and you don't want to make it into an event.
Well,
let's have lunch. We'll celebrate. You saw my dick in pantyhose.
And we're not
I was
laughing.
sucking off some poor other guy.
And please, okay, we will call you Will. Will, please don't think we're laughing at you.
No.
What did you say?
Wilkins.
No.
I wonder if he listens. Probably not.
Wilhelmina. No. We're not laughing at you. We're just we're kind of adding little things because we get it. We get it. It's not something that's always easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, we've both been in the closet for a long time. So
but listen, once you get it out, you only have to do it once and say
that's not true. That is so not true.
No, to your son because he knows now that you're dressing
to that
clothes.
one person. But yeah, people say once you come out of the closet, you only have to do it once. That is not true.
But with your son,
you will be coming out of the closet the rest of your life because you'll be meeting people that don't know.
But also, like, okay, this may be a text, but he might have questions after too, so that might be a thing, which is fine. And then you kind of do it as you feel. But you know what? He may not want to know anything more about it. That might be. Yeah,
that's what that.
It.
Exactly. That would be my tact. But it's important.
But
like if you have.
What do you say in the text? That's a good thing to kind of say.
Keep it short. Keep it general.
Like what?
Apologize. I'm sorry you had to see that or whatever. I mean, be honest. I can't put words in people's mouths like that. It's so awkward.
If it's honest and brief, what do you say? Like, it's something I like to do sometimes?
I'm sorry you had to see that, first of all. Because
but
obviously you were irresponsible, maybe the Home Alone jerk, and didn't lock the door.
But what do you do to kind of explain it? Like, it's just something I do sometimes? And Mom knows?
The other thing you could do is you could wait till like Friday night and just come out prancing. Just come out in full drag. Go, hi, son. Ooga.
Yeah, like RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, just this is me.
Oh my God.
But chances are
that wouldn't shock anyone.
You're coming out to everybody in the family, most likely, for doing that shit. Yeah. Because most likely this is a situation where nobody knows.
Yeah.
Which means there's another option. You could kill your son because you don't want him to tell the wife.
Oh, see, but
kidding.
That's interesting.
I'm saying
I never thought of that. The son knows, but now his mom doesn't know. What do you do?
Well, you have to talk about it. You do.
Oh, my God. Yeah,
you have to talk about it.
You
have to either, A, get him to buy in and not tell your mom. Hey, this is probably the most difficult thing you've ever brought to me as a question in the show. And whoever this happened to, my heart goes out to you because you're fucked.
If that's
you may as well just come out, get divorced. You're done, Will.
You don't know that's...
Wilkins.
You don't know that's going to happen. So seriously. I don't know, but...
I don't know. I really don't know. Since we don't know the details, and probably giving out the details isn't a good idea anymore.
No, I don't...
You want to keep this as general as possible.
Right. And if
you ever get caught, I mean, it's like anything else. It's like getting caught masturbating, only more. You know what I mean? It's that same thing. It's in the same wheelhouse. Only the thing about masturbation is... Ultimately, everybody does it and it's normal. But if you're doing it and you have women's clothes on, I mean, then you have to start talking about fetishes and...
Right.
Yeah.
Now, yeah. And if your son sees
Fellatio.
Then
why
really,
are these words so endearing? I'm sorry.
And it's true. Only you know the relationship with your son. And how to communicate this to him, like, briefly. And then if you,
But
if you
yeah,
want to talk
no matter
about
what, my advice is, yes, be brief, be quick. Don't be direct if you don't have to, because nobody really wants to confront this again. You really don't. No, it was uncomfortable enough. Just kind of apologize, give as minimal explanation as need be to satisfy. And
what?
But here's the hook. When you end it, say, if you want to talk about this some more, or if you have any questions,
I'm here.
Yeah, you come and talk.
Right, I'm always your dad.
Yeah,
because no matter what you
don't say any of that shit. Because you're guilty, and you're like, I'm always your dad.
No.
You don't have to remind them unless your kid's an asshole. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah,
but and it might happen. Who knows? I don't know. Everybody's different. But yeah, I don't apologize for your behavior if you are not sorry.
But you're sorry.
Apologize that someone had to see whatever it was that wasn't.
It wasn't meant for them to see.
Yeah, someone saw your privacy, your secret.
Right.
But also, no matter what you say, I say keep it short, keep it brief. It doesn't have to be. That's bullshit. You don't have to. Everybody's this thing. Everything has to be in person.
Right.
No. People break up by fucking Instagram now. I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I don't.
Trust me.
Oh no,
Trust me. After this, nobody wants to go back into this. You don't want to sit at the dining room. Oh, over hot dogs? I mean, what do you do? Come on.
Over hot dogs.
I'm gonna have a skirt steak.
Oh my god! I don't even know what that is. A skirt steak. I had
it's
an amazing.
A cut. It's a cut.
I had a really good steak last night, and for lunch today, it was amazing.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here. I mean, it's a rough one. That's a real rough one. So
it is. Just be gentle on yourself, and if you have,
and if bad stuff happens, I mean, unfortunately,
or fortunately,
I mean, it may seem rough at first, but these things have a way of working themselves out into being the best experiences of your life.
And they have ways of, like, our kids. Like, kids are amazing,
especially nowadays.
Amazing.
This generation of kids thinks nothing.
And it might even be something that they're like,
bisexuality, transgenderism.
Right. That's so awesome that my dad's experimenting in ways. Maybe that's a thought in their mind. I don't know. But it's cool. My dad's able to be who he is. How cool is that?
Yeah.
So,
I know that our kids are able to.
Right.
If that should ever come up, they could say, "Hey, look, our kids parents are bi, and we're not freaks. It's fine."
I sound old, but kids today are different. It's just a different.
Dads, what's the matter with kids today?
They just don't. They just don't have that thing already implanted in there that there's something bad about it. They just don't.
We're missing Rachel Maddow. Sorry.
We're doing a show.
I know, but it's over.
All right.
No one listens to that for an hour.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. I mean, this is a 90-minute deal as usual. So why are 90 minutes always our sweet spot? We're 133. So let me find the outro theme here.
All right.
Dooba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dee-ba-da-boop-bop-bee-da-boo. I like porn sounds. All right. It might help.
Those are porn sounds?
No.
Baba-dee-ba-dooba-dooba-dabba?
No, that
oh my God,
one thing had nothing to do with
10 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. No, it's not. It's 9:33.
It says 10:08 over there.
Where's the outro? I hate this. This isn't it. Oh, we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
I'll just play the intro
Thanks
for the outro.
for hanging with us.
If I can figure. Oh, that's why. Too many damn volumes. See you guys next week, or 2 weeks, I think. Whenever our next show is, we'll see you.
Whenevs.
We're getting on consistency here.
Bye, guys.
We're getting better.
And now,
it's not. It's time for Tales from the Swing to end. Later.
Bye.
And Scott
I should probably do this on the. Too much shit to do on the way out. Bye, folks.